We're going to go ahead and get started. Did everybody get a handout? Raise your hand if you haven't.
And staff don't count.
Get you one. Okay, we're going to go ahead and get started. Welcome, everybody. It's good to see all the faces back in the room. It's been a while, been a couple of years since we've had a good turnout like this for the TAC meeting. It's been functioning pretty well, I think, virtually, but it is time to get everybody back in the room and get the networking started up again. So I appreciate everybody's attendance this morning. First item on the agenda then is the nominations and election of the 23 TAC officers. I'll now open it up at the floor for nominations for chair.
Nominate Gary Schaefer for chair.
I'll second that. Okay, we got a motion to say. Any other nominations? Okay, if not, I'll entertain a motion to close the nominations for chair.
So moved. Second.
All those in favor? Opposed? Okay, we'll do the same thing for vice chair. I'll open up the floor for nominations for vice chair.
I'll nominate Bob Durbin.
We have a second. Thank you. Bob, you object?
I don't object, but someone else can have it.
There being no other nominations, we'll go ahead. I'll entertain a motion to close the nominations for vice chair.
So moved.
Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor? Opposed? Okay, we got two nominations, one for chair and one for vice chair only. So I'll entertain a motion to approve the election of the officers. Chair would be myself. Bob Durbin is vice chair.
So moved. Second.
So we got a motion second. Any further discussion on this? If not, all those in favor? Opposed? Okay, thank you, everyone.
Yeah, congratulations.
I think there's a boost in pay this year.
Yeah.
An extra cup of coffee.
Double what you get.
Inflation, let's make it triple.
Yeah, you're agreed.
I'll take care of the coffee.
Yeah, the next item is an update on the Appalachian Community Grant Program. Yeah.
Thank you. Well, I know this is kind of a throwback to the old days when we had tons of paper at TAC. So what I'll do is I advance my screen. I will let you know. So you want to tag along with me. But I'd like to begin with sharing some of the things that we are doing here at Eastgate in the ARC program. The ARC is Appalachian Regional Commission, and Eastgate is one of the 4 local development districts in the state that administers the program in partnership with the state through the Governor's Office of Appalachia and then the ARC office in Washington, D.C. So, oh, it doesn't look like the screen's advancing. Is that? It's frozen now, Justin.
One of these.
Team to do it on there.
You know, they do call me mayhem for a reason. Okay. So anyways, let's begin with some opportunities for funding that we have in the program. You've probably heard us talk a lot about Appalachian Community Grant Program. That is the historic investment by the DeWine administration and our Ohio legislature that allocated $500 million to the 32 counties of Appalachia. These are ARPA dollars, and under House Bill 377, which initiated the program, it's to be administered through the Ohio Department of Development, Governor's Office of Appalachia, in consultation with the 4 local development districts. So there are 3 areas that we're focusing on for types of projects that can come forward to the program. And we are looking at projects that are doing downtown revitalization, improving community health, as well as rebuilding our local workforce. And really within this program, there's a strong emphasis on planning, and projects need to be what we call transformational, regional, evidence-based. We're looking for public-private partnership, and the project really should be visible because what the intent is to make Appalachia a region that you want to live, you want to work, and you want to come and visit. So those are the goals of the program. And I'm going to the next slide. We did have our first round of funding. That was round one and closed on October 9th. In the first round of funding, there was planning dollars. There was a total of 30 million in the planning dollars. However, 8 million was specifically allocated for technical assistance to the 32 counties. They could request a maximum of $250,000 per county. That's for the 8 million, comes from 32 times 32 times 2, 250,000 is 8 million. And then we also had development grant opportunities that needed to be shovel ready within 90 days of award. And that amount was allocated at $50 million. So Eastgate, in order to assist our communities in developing plans and projects, we have on our website a page that's just dedicated to this program, Appalachian Community Grant Program. So if you go on there, you can see the guidance, the rubrics, all kinds of information. And then we have a collaboration tool for you. So if there was projects that you're interested in developing, complete the form, and now you can view those projects in the collaboration tool. Of course, upon receiving those, Eastgate tabulated the data, gave recommendations to those agencies submitted it so they could increase their regional footprint and hopefully just expand the partnership on that. We did receive 38 projects that were submitted through there. So that was really good to have the collaboration tool. It gave a quick reference that you could find information about other partners that were also interested in applying. So from there, on the 9th, from our district, we had a total of 5 technical assistance applications that were submitted and 3 development grants. Now, in this program, applicants are not required to work through the local development district, but you can submit on your own. So we're sure that there was additional projects that came through that not necessarily came from the Eastgate collaboration. And in fact, I just got an email from the governor's office of Appalachia yesterday, and they received a total of 47 requests for development grants, and that totaled $350 million. Of course, now there's only 50 million that was allocated. So quite a bit in excess of requested. And then also they received 50 technical assistance grants in the amount of $19 million. The governor's office of Appalachia is very busy right now, going through the scoring criteria, evaluating those, and then ultimately we'll send them to Ohio's controlling board for approval. And moving to the next slide now, give you an idea of what the timeline that we're expecting. Because of course, everyone wants to know, were we successful in the first round? So we're looking for awards to be announced in early 2023, the first quarter. I'm hoping February. And then for those who submitted a request for community planners, those were submitted by November 18th. And that's being vetted through the governor's office of Appalachia. We hope to have that announcement by February 2023, but it will definitely be within the first quarter of this year. And then we will have at least one other round of requests. Those will be for development grants only. The planning grants were only available in round 1, but we expect that round 2 will be open in November of this year. I think it will in 2023. Those dates are subject to change, and we will definitely continue to get the information out regarding this program. Eric in our office did a great job at probably sending you a lot of constant contact emails, but that's how we're distributing our information. We'll also have it on our website. But some other important dates to remember for this program is plans. Your plans for the regional transformational projects, they need to be completed by October of 23. I know your form says December. That is not correct. It is October of 2023. We'll correct that on our website. And then the work for these projects need to be completed by October of 26. And the reason for that very short deadline is, as I mentioned, these are ARPA dollars, and by congressional legislation, the projects have to be completed by 26. So in our world, that is a very fast timeline, and we're looking forward to the projects moving forward. Eastgate is here to assist you and make sure they are regional and transformational for our district as well as 32 counties. So I'm going to the next slide because we have some other updates. This is always one of the fun things that I like to talk about. This is regarding some summer programs that are available for our students. And so we have 2 programs. This is also on the Eastgate website, where you'll find this information. I know some of you also got direct emails, but if you could please, feel free to share this with any students and teachers because we really want to have the representation from our district. But we're going to start with the Appalachian Entrepreneurship Academy, and then we also have the Appalachian STEM Academy at Up Ridge. So as I advance to the next slide, for the Appalachian Entrepreneurship Academy, that is available for high school students. And the purposes of the program is to introduce the students to become leaders in entrepreneurship and like maybe start their own businesses and so forth. So the all costs are covered by the ARC office, and we are looking at the program starting on July 8th through the 21st. The application is completely online, and they are due by February 10th. New to the program this year, and I'm kind of looking forward to how this will work out, is at the end of the program, not only will the students get a certificate, but they'll get a chance to pitch their entrepreneurial ideas in a Shark Tank forum amongst some professionals and panelists. So I think that would be a great opportunity for them. And then the second program is one we have around for quite a while. It is the Appalachian STEM Academy at Oak Ridge. And this program is available to high school students and middle school students, as well as teachers. And the only requirement we ask of the student is that they have a desire to learn. They want to spark an interest so they can hopefully pursue a career in the STEM fields. They'll have an opportunity to work hand in hand with nationally recognized scientists and professionals in the STEM field. And we have actually the application is available online as well. For the high school students and teachers, it's a 2-week, all expenses in Oak Ridge, Tennessee. That's going to be July 8th through the 21st. And then this is for the first time this year that we're going to have 2 one-week sessions for middle school students. That will be July 8th through the 14th on session 1, and then the 15th through the 21st. It is a competitive process. There will be students chosen from each of the 13 states of Appalachia, and Ohio has always done very well, and we certainly want as many students and teachers from our district to take advantage of this. So again, if you can assist us in getting the word out on the program, it's a pretty straightforward application, and it is on the Eastgate website.
How are you disseminating this information to each of the schools in the area?
I did, yes.
Okay.
That has gone out. We do the constant contact email, but also I have a list of the schools in each of the 3, counties in our district. But a lot of times if it comes from someone you know, I mean, if you get an email from me, you may not recognize
Sure,
what it is.
to the superintendent.
And then so often, after the deadline is when the information gets to the students.
Do you expect the students to do this individually, or do you expect it to go through the principal's office or through the school?
It could be either way. You don't have to have the initiation from the school, but the schools were the best way for us to try to get the information out. Both of these programs, the deadline for the applications to be completed is February 10th. Okay, and then the last item I have for you is with the new year, we always have a new state's co-chair. So this year, the governors of 13 states of Appalachia have selected one of their own, which is Kentucky Governor Andy Bouchard. And he will be working closely with our federal co-chair, Dr. Gail Manchin, and they will be looking at opportunities to increase economic development, human development to help improve the lives of people of Appalachia, along with local development. So these are just a few of the opportunities we have. It's going to be a busy year. We're looking forward to it. If there's any questions that I can help address, I'll be glad to do that. And also, we're having our open house today. So I'll be here. We've got pizza coming. So I'll have a chance to talk to that as well. But are there any questions?
Thank you, Kathy. Next, Mark's going to provide us an update on the economic development program. Mark.
Thanks, Gary. So on the first slide, EDA program year in review, just wanted to recap some of the highlights of last year. It was a banner year, very successful all around the region. We had several projects get funded. I'll just kind of go down the line here. The first one is actually Eastgate's partnership planning grant that allows us to manage the SEDS for the 3-county region, as well as provide the technical assistance, grant application, project development. We go around and we sort of seek out projects and try to help the locals facilitate that process as well. So that grant's been renewed. It's good for another 3 years, and we're very excited about that. Next is the Trumbull County Tourism Master Plan. That was the first project we got funded last year. It was a $100,000 study. Beth Carmichael and her team have entered into an agreement with a contractor actually out of Europe. So they're going to really bring in an outside perspective and look at the region, unobjectively, and try to figure out ways in which we could draw more tourism into the region. So excited about that project. Next is the Crab Creek Corridor redevelopment study. City of Youngstown applied for that. We're going to take a look at the east side up to the north side, an old industrial corridor over there. See if we can't sort of replicate what Gary and his team have done in the Golden Triangle area. A lot of potential in the Crab Creek Corridor, and that study will get underway this month. Next is the Youngstown Warren Regional Airport Center of Excellence Planning and Development Study. Worked closely with the port to make sure they got that grant application in. Randy's been very instrumental in moving that project forward. We have I believe a charrette next week to kind of kick that project off. So again, excited about what that could do for the region as well. That project was funded for $368,000, so pretty good amount there. Lastly, the Golden Triangle Infrastructure Improvements. That was the largest project funded last year. Gary Schaefer and his team, City of Warren, Howland Township included. That project was awarded $3,322,296. So pretty large EDA investment. Gary, I don't know if you know the timetable for that project to get underway.
The engineering design is going to be starting up any day now. So within the next month or so, we've selected MS Consultants for the design. Summer of 24, it'll probably sell. So construction will begin sometime in 24.
Okay, good news. So that brings us to a total in 2022 of $4,100,000 in EDA funding brought back to the area. Again, very excited about that, and it was a total team effort amongst Eastgate staff, the locals we work with, and our contractors we work with as well. And I'd be remiss if I didn't point out Emil in the back of the room with some of the work that he's done on those grant applications as well. So thank you, Emil. Moving along to the next slide. Hot on the heels of the Golden Triangle project, we worked closely with the Mahoning County Engineers Office for the Mahoning Avenue Industrial Corridor upgrade. Similar type of project, trying to improve an aging industrial corridor, similar to the Golden Triangle. The EDA really loved this project. It was a quick turnaround. I think Bob's team submitted the application middle of September, and we found out last week that they'd be receiving $2.4 million in funding. This project, highlighted in red there on the map, will include improvements for a 2-mile stretch of Mahoning Avenue from State Route 45 to Duck Creek Road, and then a portion of Rosemont Road from Mahoning to Plot. It's expected to create more than 140 jobs, potential for more than $5 million in private investment. But as you kind of start to see a theme here, the EDA really likes these sort of projects. Again, Golden Triangle, this one specifically, they've recommended us, so we look for more projects like this throughout the area. So good potential to keep bringing in these kind of funds for the region. Moving along, Valley Partners was invited actually by the EDA a few weeks back to apply for an additional $1 million to fund their revolving loan programs. They've been instructed to create the Edge 2 RLF, hot on the heels of the original Edge revolving loan fund that's been wildly successful. This fund will help to give capital and resources to those who are unable to access traditional forms of financing. So you're looking at a lot of entrepreneurs, startups, and Valley Partners has done a great job with those sort of programs in the past. They just submitted their application, but we pretty much all have been assured that's going to be successful, but no guarantee yet. But we're pretty much anticipating that that 1 million will also come back to the area. Next slide. Just wanted to highlight the investment priorities again. These haven't changed from last year. Equity, recovery and resilience, workforce development. I want to highlight manufacturing. You see that they'll invest in those projects and that's kind of their bread and butter. Technology-based economic development, environmentally sustainable, and exports and foreign direct investment. So those are their investment priorities. Any projects you may have, they'll have to check off at least one of those. They'll have to kind of fall into one of those buckets. And then lastly, some considerations. Again, the EDA has always been big on job retention, job creation, private investment. Those are the three big things they're going to look for. What we did with Mahoning County's project is we worked closely with the chamber. The chamber was able to go business to business and get them to kind of sign off on some light commitments for job creation and further investment. The EDA really looks into that, and that's one of the key things to keep your application competitive is having that private buy-in. Other things to keep in mind, they've reverted back to the 50% match requirement during CARES and ARPA. It was just a 30% match, so we've gone back to traditional 50%. Again, the investment priorities project has to align with the SEDS, whether it's an action item, a priority, some type of strategic goal in that document, and we can work closely with you to figure out what that is, but needs to align with the SEDS. Again, this is a highly competitive process. Bob can tell you that, Gary can tell you that. They don't take these applications lightly, and they will review them with a fine-tooth comb. The funding request has to be realistic. Give you an idea, in the last couple of years, no projects have really been funded higher than the Golden Triangles at that 3 million clip. You saw Mahoning County's was 2.4. Largest request I would say between 2 and 3 million would be your ceiling. And then naturally with studies, you can apply, 100,000, 200,000, 300,000. Those are comfortable ranges, but with implementation projects, don't go over that $3 million request. Again, these are highly competitive. The state, the EDA during this fiscal year has allotted basically 6 to 7 million to the state of Ohio in funding. If you take out Bob Mahoning County's grant there, that's minus 2.4 million. So very competitive the rest of the way. Their funds will be replenished October 1st, but it never hurts to start putting an application together now, kind of go through the process and then submit. They'll review it, they'll be ready to award it, but no project's gonna be awarded till after the 1st of October. And then again, just utilize the regional resources available. Eastgate, as a staff, I like to again pick on the Mahoning County application. There were 6 or 7 of us working on that. We really all kind of put our expertise, our thoughts into it, and we were very proud of that effort. And so we're more than happy to help on any application and direct you to any resources that we can. But we want to see everyone be successful. And so if you do have an idea, something you think might be a good fit for EDA, don't hesitate to reach out to myself or anyone at Eastgate, and we'd be happy to work with you on that. That's all I have today, but happy to take any questions, and I'll also be around for the open house afterwards. So, okay, thank you.
Thanks, Mark. Okay, next, Jeff is going to discuss the Eastgate GIS. 23.
All right, hi, everybody. Just a quick couple things since I haven't spoken to everybody in a while. The first thing is on the horizon for the new year, our big GIS project coming down the line is a sort of companion to the big map, and it's going to be our big fun data site. And the data site will be a open sourcing area for everybody to get all the data you need from us GIS wise. If you have the ability to do your own GIS work, it'll cut out the need for data requests and asking us if we have something and then waiting for us to put it all together. It'll be right there, everybody to see exactly what it is, how it works, and download it yourselves and take care of it. And it'll be pretty cool. So that kind of segs into the next thing, which is our GIS survey. And we just want to get an idea of what the GIS capabilities of all our members. Because we're here to help everyone out. And if you don't have that capability, you can come to us and we can get things done for you. We have our intern Joey over there. He is itching to do lots of good work for everybody if you need it. So on your papers or on your screen, there's a little QR code guy. You could check that out or go to this link here at the bottom, fill out the survey. If there's anything there to help you out, we will talk after you fill out the survey if you need any help, and I will work with everybody. We could do pretty much anything within, certain reasons. We'll figure out if what you need and what we could do is appropriate on a per person basis. And hopefully we will be able to work together a little more closely this coming year. That's it for GIS things. I'm going to quickly give you a little census update. The 2021 ACS 5-year data came out in the middle of December. So that is our latest available census information that you can go and download for yourselves, or as always, if you need any help with that, contact me and I will be glad to teach you how to use the site or just do it for you, because it's kind of daunting when you first look at it, but it's all good after that. So that's it. Anyone have any questions? I'll be here all day. I'm going to put the survey up on the computer in the back too. So if you don't want to do it on your phone, but you still want to fill it out, you got a little workstation to do it at. And that's it. Thanks.
Any questions for Jeff? All right, thank you, Jeff. Okay, next Steve is going to cover the next two items. First will be adopting ODOT safety performance measure targets for 23 and the 24-27 TIP program.
Thanks, Gary. Everyone can hear me okay? Can you get
Yeah.
a quick thumbs up, Ken? Perfect. And also, do you mind jumping up there and advancing slides for me?
There, you're on, we had to pass them out, so they have them in hand. We're having some technical difficulty on the screen, so you're good to go.
Right, but still too advanced for all the, oh, okay, they're doing it from the back. Okay, so quick fill in here for Grant initially to talk about our safety program. He put together General Policy Board Resolution 002-2023. And what this is, if you recall seeing similar resolutions in the past, if you want to jump to the next slide, what's necessary here is all of the state DOTs are required to set safety performance measures based on these 5 different categories. Those categories are serious injuries, fatal injuries, serious injury rate, fatal injury rate, and then finally non-motorized fatalities and serious injuries. This is done for a variety of reasons. Main one from our perspective is that accountability and showing, that you're working towards 0 deaths. So if you go to the next slide, what happens then is Eastgate has to decide, do we want to do our, as the MPO of the area, do we want to do our own safety studies? Do we want to do our own, look at these same 5 criteria and set our own goals? Or do we want to work towards and adopt ODOT's goal for that annual 2% reduction? So if you jump to the next slide, some numbers for you guys to see. This shows the baseline and the target. Baseline is what these current numbers are. Target certainly being, what we're working towards with that 2% reduction. So ultimately, again, what resolution 002 is, if you jump to the next slide, Eastgate is again deciding to continue to support ODOT and their targets, and we adopt those as well. So if anybody has any questions, we could probably answer them now. If not, Grant will be back and be able to provide some further detail or answer any more detailed questions. Okay, if we're good there, then we can jump to the next two. I also have a resolution for you guys. I'll talk about real quick before I get into the tip development. Resolution 003-2023. And what we're doing on Resolution 003 is we have two different projects on there. The first one on the list is we have an increase in some TAP funding. Various reasons here. A lot has changed over the last 2-3 years. We're seeing this with a lot of projects to where construction estimates, even inflation estimates, just couldn't really react to, the ever changing landscape and kind of what we've gone through over the last 3 years. So able to provide some TAP funding there. For anyone who's not aware, TAP is our Transportation Alternatives Program. This is typically geared towards pedestrians, walking, biking, anything that's non-motorized. So this program's kind of unique in the projects we're able to fund. And with some increases we've talked about before through the Infrastructure Investment Jobs Act, we've had some substantial increases to our program. So this felt like the right way to use some of our funds, provide some support for the locals. The other project on the list is the State Route 46 and 82 diverging diamond interchange. You've probably heard me talk about this a bunch of different times. And what we're doing there is we're identifying, again, through the IIJA, Infrastructure Investment Jobs Act, we're identifying a new funding source that came down that is dispersed through Eastgate. This is the Carbon Reduction Program. Quick overview of the Carbon Reduction Program, kind of similar funding to a few of our other programs, can do a lot of similar work. But then above and beyond that, there's some unique projects that we can apply that funding towards. What occurs at this point is we found out relatively late in this fiscal year that, hey, here's fiscal year 22 and 23 dollars, got to spend them now, or always risking that threat of losing them, to other parts across the state. So we tried to do our due diligence, find out if there's any unique projects, something different that we can assist in. Wasn't anything that was, shovel ready to go right around the corner. So the way that we're attacking this and applying these funds currently is using those carbon reduction funds on the DDI project, which then in turn opens up some funding on our STBG program that we're going to have a funding round coming up this summer, opens up some more funding for the locals to apply for into the future. That carbon reduction program runs all the way out through 2026. What we're doing internally is, like I mentioned, we want to find a way to fund projects that don't necessarily have a funding source now. If there's a $400,000, $500,000, $600,000 project and 80% can be covered from a different funding source, that's great. We'll ask the locals to go that direction. But there's a lot out there that are necessary, important projects that just don't have a pot of money to assist our locals in. So what we want to do, and we're going to open up some more discussion into the next handful of months, and really dive into what that program's about, is talk to the locals, find those unique projects, those unique initiatives, stuff that's only eligible through the carbon reduction program. And, that's what you should anticipate seeing over the next 3 years coming through that program and where that's going to be funded. So any questions on the resolution and what's presented to you there today? Okay, so then back to the slides, what everyone's seeing online and what everyone's got the handout in front of them. Upcoming is our fiscal year 2024 and 2027 TIP, our Transportation Improvement Program. It's been about 3 years now since we've done a TIP development. And really the reason for that is a couple reasons. First is we finalized our 2021 to 2024 TIP document in the spring of 2020. We all know what occurred there. Ran into a lot of difficulties with the local communities, with the MPOs, with the state, with the USDOT over those next handful of months that kind of delayed our typical schedule. Then what occurred is from Ohio to Pennsylvania, Indiana, Michigan, all of these states got on different schedules with their transportation improvement program. Ohio made the decision of delaying the TIP development 1 year to get back on schedule with everybody else. So that's what we're going through this process now. And moving forward, barring any other unforeseen circumstances, we'll be back on a 2-year schedule that you'll see us go through this development every 2 years. So what is our TIP? Our TIP is kind of the next step from the MTP, our Metropolitan Transportation Plan. And really the main purpose of this is to identify existing projects, upcoming projects with federal funds. This could be something that from, transit receiving federal funds, from our local communities receiving federal funds, ODOT's funding. So anywhere from your simple sidewalks, your resurfacings, to guardrails, restripings, major interchange projects. So that's the process we're going through now. The main point is to identify all projects that have any federal dollars attached to them over the next 4 years. So you see the schedule. We have a first draft coming up on February 1st. So next month's TAC, you're going to see an overview from me again, and actually diving into the projects that are there, kind of the details that we're looking at, the process that we go through. After that initial review, March 9th is then when we submit a final draft. This is really with the main purpose of having this draft completed for the public involvement period, which runs from March 20th to April 7th. So we'll have that completely posted. We'll have all the information provided, a lot of good maps, a lot of good detail. And April 6th is actually when we'll be hosting a public involvement meeting from 3 to 6, most likely here at Eastgate. If it's anywhere else, we'll certainly let you know. But that really gives that perfect opportunity to come in and talk, see the maps in person. Again, we'll have all that comment time available from that whole stretch from the 20th to the 7th. But if you're available from 3 to 6 on April 6th, certainly come and join us. From that point, receive comments on our final draft, address those comments, make any necessary changes, and finally, May 1st, make that final submittal. Assuming all boxes are checked and everything's approved, July 1st is when that officially comes into play. Everything is now on the books. That's our now new living document. So a lot to discuss there. But again, here's our schedule moving forward. You'll see a much more thorough overview in February at next month's TAC meeting. Any questions regarding the TIP development? All right, thank you. And thanks for clicking through the slides for me too.
Thank you, Stephen. Down to the executive director's report, which is going to be given by Ken.
Thanks, Gary. Jim fortunately got called away this morning, so I'm going to jump in here real quick for him. Just a couple of housekeeping items are, those of you that are not aware, this is our 50th anniversary of Eastgate. I think I've been here for most of them. But throughout the year, we have a couple of things planned to celebrate, to continue to move Eastgate forward, and not only Eastgate, but when I say Eastgate, that's all of our partners in the Mahoney Valley. But the first big thing will be our annual meeting on March 17th. It'll be up at
May.
Stambaugh. When is it?
May.
Oh, yeah, May. I'm sorry, May 17th. It'll be up at Stambaugh. Yeah, that would be bad. Or fun. I don't know. I have to go with that one. Up at Stambaugh Auditorium. We haven't had our annual meeting because of COVID and all that, but we're back to it, and it'll be a good morning. It'll start at probably 8 and run through lunch. So put that on your calendars. And you'll definitely be hearing from us through emails and us reaching out. Another housekeeping thing is this is our MTP, our Metropolitan Transportation Plan, our 2050 plan. This keeps the region eligible to receive federal funds. This is what we do and why we do it. We held our first public meeting on January here at Youngstown. We're gonna hold our next public meeting up in Trumbull just to get input on, 18th from 4 to 6 at the Warren Main Library. I would encourage everyone to show up. At that point, we'll gather that information. You'll look to see a draft of our report coming out in the next couple months with a public involvement process to follow for responses back. And then ultimately on June's policy board will have a resolution to approve our 2050 MTP. That's kind of all I have for housekeeping items. Any questions, comments? Okay, if not, on the slides, Jim just really wanted to cover some of our, you'll see our 22 initiatives that we've been working on, and then upcoming our 2023 initiatives. I'm not going to go into much detail there. Jim said that he will definitely be talking about those in February's TAC. But you can see, for the 2022, there's a number of things you see on that list that we've been working on. And Jim always points out, and I like to point out that, the majority of that list are above and beyond what we really are, I don't want to say required, but that's kind of above and beyond our necessity to do things, but it's a benefit for Mahoning and Trumbull County. So that's why we continue to push that forward. The 2023 initiatives you see there, again, Jim is definitely going to talk about that in great detail in February. Some conceptual projects also. Those are our projects that we continue to have on our radar. We continue to kind of hope, I don't want to say hope, but look for maybe through IIJA, some funding opportunities to come up so that we can pursue some of these larger projects. So again, this year, 2023, look for us to maybe hopefully make some progress on those conceptual projects. That's all I have. Any questions? Again, the open house, we kind of kept it, just in general. I think who. If you need ARC, that's Kathy. If you need OPWC, that's Ed. That's Murda Transit, Justin. One other thing, housekeeping. I don't know if everyone's aware. It's good to be back. I have been out for quite some time here the last couple months dealing with some family issues, but it's good to be back. I don't know if anyone is aware, Joanne retired on December 31st. Justin is now our new director of planning. So reach out to him after, congratulate him. We're continuing to move forward here at Eastgate. We really not miss a beat. So I appreciate your time, and if there's any questions, if not, I'm done.
All right, thank you, Ken. Okay, now we're down to the General Policy Board resolutions for passage. First time in a couple of years we're doing them live. We want to read through these things. So first one's General Policy Board Resolution 1-2023, and Intergovernmental Review Log 23-001. Resolution supporting through the intergovernmental review process and application by the City of Geneva, the Ohio Department of Natural Resources Coastal Management Assistance Grant Program. I'll entertain a motion for approval.
Second.
Motion is second. Any questions or comments? All those in favor? Opposed? General Policy Board Resolution 2-2023. Resolution of the Eastgate Regional Council of Governments approving adoption of 2023 established statewide targets for safety performance management measures. I'll entertain a motion for approval.
So moved. Second.
Motion is second. Any questions or comments? All those in favor? Opposed? General Policy Board Resolution 3-2023, amending the fiscal year 2021 through 2024 Transportation Improvement Program of the Eastgate Regional Council of Governments to identify carbon reduction funding and add additional TAP funding on 2 projects. On the change, motion for approval.
So moved. Second.
Motion is second. Any questions or comments? All those in favor? Opposed? The resolutions for passage. Now I'm going to open it up. Anybody's got any comments or discussion? Committee? Okay, staff, Eastgate staff have anything else? Okay, next meeting is Groundhog's Day, February 2nd. I'll entertain a motion for approval or adjournment.
So moved.
Anything else? All those in favor? Opposed? Adjourned. Thanks, everybody. Adjourned.